Hosted, I'd like to call this meeting to order. If you could, please join me in saluting the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You said that very fast.
I thought I was pausing. I thought I was going slow. Oh, well. I don't know if he's got it on yet or not. Is it loud enough? Can you hear it good? I can give him the thumb up or thumb down. Whichever. Is it loud enough for you? Thumbs up. Give me a little more. How about now? Now? Sound better? Okay, good. All right. Let's see. I'd like to, is Joe Holloway here tonight? Well, I'll tell you what, you retire and you just go off on the... Well, anyways, I would like to recognize Joe tonight just for his years of service with the fire department. And, it's kind of a family tradition there. His father was a fireman and he was a fireman. And, like a lot of other families in town, it's a family tradition. It's passed on down through the generations. And Joe has done more than his fair share of stuff for the fire department. I just wanted to say thank you, Joe, for all your time. And congratulate Darren Anderson on his appointment as chief. I wish him well, and above all, safety for his department. Does the Finance Committee have any report tonight? If you could step to the mic and just give them your yay or nay, and thank you.
Well, it's a little too high for me. Yeah, we reviewed all the articles. The only one that we would really like to endorse is, we endorse all of them, I should say, with the exception where the Article 10, I believe.
Town Administrator? That's Article 10.
Yes. We just want to say that the Finance Committee supports hiring a town administrator. The monies are put aside for at least 1 to 3 years, and we believe that a town administrator could really pull a lot of the issues that we're dealing with together and help move the town along. That's basically it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Article 1, to see if the town will vote to transfer the sum of $30,895.94 from free cash to the opioid stabilization account or take any action relative thereto. Is there a motion?
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to transfer the sum of $30,895.94 from free cash to the opioid stabilization account.
Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said on this? Anything at all? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Article 2, to see if the town will vote to transfer the sum of $300,000 from free cash to the group insurance or take any action relative thereto. Explanation, this is an amount was originally cut from the group insurance to help balance the fiscal year 24 budget, and it was agreed that it would be one of the first items transferred from free cash. Is there a motion?
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to transfer the sum of $300,000 from free cash to group insurance.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said? Anything at all? All those in favor signify by raising your hands. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Article 3, to see if the town will vote to transfer the sum of $216,654.06 from free cash to general stabilization or take any action relative thereto. The explanation for this one is the article is to transfer the balance of free cash back to general stabilization. We needed to borrow $209,000 $92,862.89 from general stabilization to balance the fiscal year 24 budget. With this transfer, we are still $76,208.83 short of paying back the entire amount that we borrowed. Is there a motion?
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to transfer the sum of $216,654.06 from free cash to general stabilization.
Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said? Anything at all? All those in favor signify by raising your hands. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Article 4, to see if the town will to see if the town will vote to borrow, one more time, Jim. To see if the town will vote to transfer from playground supplies to playground prior year expense the amount of $31.17 to pay a prior year bill or take any action relative thereto. Is there a motion?
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to transfer from playground supplies to playground prior year expense the amount of $31.17 to pay a prior year bill.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said? Anything at all? This vote requires a 9/10 vote because it's a prior year bill, so I'm going to vote it backwards. Those that are not in favor of this article, please raise your hand. Those that are in favor of this article, please raise your hand. Unanimous. Article 5, to see if the town will vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to petition the General Court to amend the special legislation as set forth below, provided, however, that the General Court may make clerical and editorial changes of form only to the bill unless the Board of Selectmen approves amendments to the bill enactment by the General Court, and provided further that the Board of Selectmen is hereby authorized to approve amendment which shall be within the scope of the general public objectives of this petition. And the item is an act relative to providing a recall elections of the town of North Brookfield, be it enacted by the state and the House of Representatives and the General Court of Assembly, and by the authority of the same as follows. Chapter 352 of the Acts of 2002, providing for recall elections in the town of North Brookfield, is hereby amended by inserting the following section. Section 2A, the reasons for which a recall may be initiated pursuant to this act shall include, but not be limited to, item 1, lack of fitness, which shall mean insobriety while performing official functions, involuntary commitment to a mental health facility, or being placed under the guardianship of a conservator by a probate court. Item 2, corruption, which shall mean a conviction of a felony involving moral turpitude, conviction of bribery or extortion. Item 3, neglect of duties, which shall mean repeated absences from meetings without just cause, provided, however, that just cause shall include but not be limited to illness or regular vacation periods. And Article 5, or number 5, number 4 rather, excuse me, misfeasance, which shall mean the performance of the official act in an unlawful manner or willful violation of a conflict of interest law, open meeting law, or other ethical violation. This act shall take effect upon the its passage or take any action relative thereto. Is there a motion? Okay.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to petition the General Court for special legislation amending the town's Recall Election Act as printed in the town warrant.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. I missed the explanation here, but you all have that in your papers. Is there anything to be said on this? Anything at all? Yes, sir. If you could please step to the mic and identify yourself.
Ethan Malad, 17 Ashley Road. I'm just curious what the why we're doing this now and why specify this particular list of things when it's also not limited to this particular list of things.
Jason, would you care to answer that one, or?
As you may all know, we've had quite a few recall petitions in the last few years. In speaking with other towns and other town clerks, this is the common language that other towns have. They have a list of reasons why. Sorry.
That's okay, go ahead.
The recall petition is taking away the voice of the voter who voted on election day for an individual. We have the right to do that, but let's do it for a reason, not just, I don't like the color of their hair, something like that. It's just to make it similar to other towns and stuff. I don't know, does that answer it?
Well, it does, but just because it says that it's, shall include but not be limited to, I guess I
Right.
wasn't sure sort of what the,
Town council said to add the not limited to.
okay.
Yeah, let's, give me just a second here. Let's have a little more discussion, and then we can go from there. Anything else to be said on that? Anything at all? John? You would like a ballot vote? Is there a second to that? Okay, we have a second. All those in favor of a ballot vote, please raise your hand. Against? Let's do it one more time. All those in favor of a ballot vote, please raise your hand. Get them a little higher, I can't see. Okay, those 4 are against a ballot vote? Okay, John, it doesn't carry. Okay. All right, so all those in favor of this motion, please raise your hand. Okay, all those against this motion, please raise your hand. Yeah, we're pretty evenly split. Okay. Looks like we're going to get a ballot vote anyways, John. Will the tellers please come forward? I can't determine by count which is best, and it's just faster to do a ballot vote. When you come up to vote, please show the tellers your yellow band to get your ballot. If you come around this way, please get your ballot. The wooden box is your voting box. That's where your decision goes. The yellow bag is the trash. Throw the rest of it in there. Yep. Yes is to accept the amendments. No is that you do not accept the amendment. Your vote goes in the wooden box. What you don't want goes in the yellow bag.
too, Diane?
We're just in big trouble.
I'll tell you what, you retire and you just don't come on time, or? Yeah, well, I gave you a nice send-off. It wasn't here to hear it. Thank you. Joe, for your service. Is that it?
There's a guy up there who can't walk down here.
Okay, all you have to tell her has to
A teller has to do it.
Okay. Take it up to him, bring his ballot back, and put it in the box. Hey, Brandon,
Brandon,
take the box. Take the box.
take the box and the bag, and don't look at what he puts in.
Going forward, if anybody has issues where they can't get up here to vote, let me know, and I will get the vote out to you, okay? So, right now Brandon is collecting a vote in the back for a gentleman that can't make it up to the front. And again, if you have issues getting up here or would like us to come get you, we will, all right? So, just want everybody to know that. Okay, the motion passes with 62 votes. I'm sorry? The 62 yes, I got to figure up the 22 no. So 62 yes, 22 no. And it's a straight up vote, so it doesn't require any, no, you can just leave them there, it's trash. Okay, here's the paperwork. Okay, Article 6, to see if the town will vote to amend the North Brookfield Town Bylaws, Chapter 2, Section 1, to read, "The annual town election shall be held on the first Monday of May each year. The polls shall be open at 7 o'clock in the morning and shall be closed at 8 o'clock in the evening for the purpose of election of town officers and for the voting upon such other matters as may be voted for the official ballot." For the official ballot. "The annual town meeting for the consideration of all other business shall be held on the second Friday of June at 7 o'clock in the evening or taking action relative thereto." Is there a motion?
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to amend Chapter 2, Section 1 of the town bylaws as printed in the warrant.
Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said on this? Anything at all? The explanation for this is we get you out here the first Friday after the first Monday in May to ideally hear and vote on all articles for money and such, but our budgets aren't ready by that time. The state hasn't come out with their budgets till usually June, so we're moving that time frame over to June so we don't have to waste your time. Is there anything to be said? All those in favor, hang on, requires 2/3. Let's do it backwards. Those not in favor of this article, please raise your hand. Those in favor of the article, please raise your hand. Thank you very much. Motion passes. Article 7, to see if the town will vote to transfer the sum of $7,183.65 from the water retained earnings to the water unpaid bills account to pay a prior year bill or take any action relative thereto. Is there a motion?
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to transfer the sum of $7,183.65 from water retained earnings to water unpaid bills to pay a prior year bill.
Is there a second? It's moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said on this? Anything at all? All right, this is going to require a 9/10 vote again, so because it's an unpaid bill from last year. So those that are not in favor of this, please raise your hand. Those that are in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you very much. Motion carries. Article 8, to see if the town will vote to rescind a sum of money from the from that vote of Article 4, Motion 3 of the June 16th, 2023 adjourned annual town meeting that appropriated $7,191,963.60 to the North Brookfield schools or take any action relative thereto. Due to an increase in our school assessments, it is necessary to reduce the budget in order to balance. That's the explanation. Is there a motion?
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to rescind the sum of $98,000 from that vote of Article 4, Motion 3 of the June 16, 2023 adjourned annual town meeting that appropriated $7,191,963.60 to the North Brookfield schools.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said? Anything at all? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Article 9, to see if the town will vote to transfer a sum of money from available funds to the library building maintenance account to repair the HVAC system or take any action relative thereto. Is there a motion?
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town take no action on this article.
Is there a second? Second. Sorry. It's been moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said? Madam Moderator.
We were able to find ARPA money and have ARPA money cover the cost.
Excellent. Is there anything to be said on this? Anything at all? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Article 10, to see if the town will vote to authorize and empower the Board of Selectmen in accordance with provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 41, Section 23A, to appoint a town administrator for the term of 1 or 3 years and to remove him or her at its discretion or take any action relative thereto. Is there a motion?
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to authorize and empower the Board of Selectmen in accordance with the provisions of General Law, Chapter 41, Section 23A, to appoint a town administrator for a term of 1 or 3 years and to remove him or her at its discretion.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said on this? Madam Moderator. Can you step to the mic, Jason, if you're going to answer?
I'm not sure if that was a typo or not. I think it should be 1 to 3 years.
Okay?
Do you want me to redo the motion?
Yeah, let's do that. Go ahead and amend it and we'll.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to authorize and empower the Board of Selectmen in accordance with the provisions of General Law, Chapter 41, Section 23A, to appoint a town administrator for a term of 1 to 3 years and to remove him or her at its discretion.
And is there a second to that amendment? Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Stand by. I'm going to put it in writing here for sure. 1, 2. Okay. Is there anything to be said on this? Yes, sir. If you could come to the mic and identify yourself. John, did you want to speak? Did you? Okay, yeah, all right.
My name's Steve Eckelkamp, live on Oakham Road, and what is the salary of this individual?
I don't believe we've determined a salary at this point, but we have $300,000 from the ARPA committee set aside to cover salary.
Would that cover 1 year, 3 years?
Well, once a salary is determined by our search committee, we have an administrator search committee. Once a salary is determined, we'll know a little bit better whether that will cover 1 to 3 years.
And
But
how
it's likely
we-
that it will cover more than 1 year. But with benefits, you know, we might not get quite 3 years out of that.
How are we to determine an educated vote on this if we don't know the salary? And is this administrator going to save the town that much money by hiring this individual? Is it going to be a cost plus? I don't understand the benefit.
Tim, were you hoping to respond to that?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. The chair of the search committee is.
Tim Canada, Gilbert Street, also the chair of the Town Administrator Search Committee. The purpose of the ARPA funding for this is to give us the flexibility to find a candidate. Town needs help. It's been on a series of town plans, master plans, since at least 2007, including a state financial audit of the town that said the town needs an administrator. However, the funding hasn't been available to provide that position at this point. As a committee, we looked into neighboring towns, similar towns, and tried to cover what we thought would get us some flexibility in hiring a qualified candidate. We can't have someone who is new to the job come into this. So this is a rare opportunity that we can, without taking direct funding from the town, give this person a chance. 2 to 3 years, you know, one is not going to help. We're looking for a minimum of a 2-year contract for this person to work with the town and to prove why we need them and to show us what they can do to help better manage the finances and to better organize how the town operates. And this money from ARPA gives us that flexibility to cover salary and benefits, which is something we had to consider as well, because you know, and we don't know. We don't know who the candidates are. We need this vote to authorize us to pursue that person and to post the job. Right now, we don't have authorization in the town bylaws to hire a town administrator. We've done the work to come up with what their job will be. We do not have the authorization from the town to post that job and start interviewing candidates and find out what we're really going to pay. And the money that's not used would go back to the ARPA fund to be allocated elsewhere if needed. But we needed that flexibility to interview people. It was a COVID relief type thing. I mean, Ethan is here. He could speak better to the exact history of it, but it was money given that was allocated for certain things, and as time has gone on, they've broadened what we could use it for, and this was an opportunity to take that money and, without coming out of the taxpayer pockets in town, put this role that's been talked about for over 15 years that the town needs as a person who's full-time. No, not at this point, no.
He asked if the money was coming out of the general fund and was under the impression it was coming out of general fund as opposed to ARPA funds. So I agree, you can't hear him, and ideally we should avoid these kind of conversations back and forth and direct your comments through the chair.
Sorry.
That's okay.
That's it.
Okay.
I
Did you
have a
want to speak?
question. I would like to ask Tim something before he leaves the mic.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I'm Tanya Matthews, Grove Street. So as the chairman of the search committee, you don't have a range for what people make in this position? If it's $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 a year?
I'll address this through the moderator. Mr. Moderator, what we've done the research on, it seems to be the salary is in the 70 to 90 range. However, depending on the benefits packages and other things, in order to compete with other towns, we feel that this would give us the best chance for an absolute minimum of a 2-year commitment.
Okay. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I have another question.
All right, go ahead.
I would like to ask what's left in the ARPA fund.
Tim?
That I do not know.
Oh, yeah, that's
Sheila's
probably
right behind you. Sheila to the rescue.
Glad you asked. Sheila LeBlanc, 58 Shore Road. The ARPA fund has to all be allocated by December of 2024 and spent by 2026. Right now, if this goes through, the $300,000 has already been allocated and approved through the selectmen. We have $94,279.51 left.
So right now, we have almost $400,000 left.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, actually, it's already been allocated for this through the selectmen.
So there's 94 and change.
94,000, the figure I read. And if you want to know how it's been allocated, I can read to you the values for the departments that have gone in and requested from the ARPA.
No, that's not what we're voting on. I don't need that. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, great. That was a move to question? Is there a second? John is moving to question. Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of moving the question to a ballot vote, or to a vote? I'm sorry? Yeah, I know I did. It was a mistake on my part. All those in favor of moving to question so we can vote, raise your hand. Okay, those opposed? We have 1, 2, okay. All right, he's also called for a ballot vote. Is there a second? Okay. All those in favor of a ballot vote, please raise your hand. Okay, those opposed to a ballot vote, please raise your hand. Oh, here we go. I can't tell, so we're having a ballot vote. Will tellers please come forward?
Yeah, okay, I know. Elder before beauty, let's go.
Don't put
I'm not even gonna bother. Well, she's been a while. One that I've got a lot. It's a situation where, in that particular case, I told her it's the first time in my career I've ever had a call for question and have equal number of hands go up not to ballot vote as to ballot vote. It's like I've never had that before, ever. So, you know,
I mean, we could have had the tellers count the hands.
yeah, and that's a waste of time. That's what I told her. I said,
Geez, if we could come up with.
well, there's a snowbird. He didn't hear me.
If we could get the $10,000 for the clickers, this wouldn't be an issue.
Imagine that.
But maybe a town administrator could find that money.
Yep, maybe. Brandon?
Hey, Jim, is this a simple majority?
Yep. It's not a bylaw change.
Might result in a bylaw change later.
Might not even find someone to do it. Might not find anybody we like to do it either.
The town government study does have a bylaw by combination. They did some good work.
Keep the trash down there.
Town government.
As long as they're counting the votes, I'm going to do my congratulations to Joe for his retirement again. See, Joe, you got a lot of fans here. Joe, step up to the mic. Nobody can hear what you're saying. I never thought I'd have myself say that, you know?
I'll only be a minute.
See,
Don't
Joe,
make
you
me
got
cry.
a lot of fans here.
I loved every minute of it, and I always considered myself working for the guys and the firefighters. They didn't work for me. That was my attitude. And you couldn't ask for better people to follow behind me. And Darren's going to do a great job, Darren Anderson and Keith Marshall and the group. I'm real proud of them all. And I thank you so much. It's so heartwarming. My family's always loved this town. The Board of Selectmen, Finance, everybody's always been good to me going up there, and I thank you all so much. And it's just, it's tough. But I love you guys, and you got some great people going to keep an eye on the town for you. And if I can help in any way when we finish up the buildings and stuff, I will help them with, you know, the landscaping and stuff around the buildings. Thank you for that support, too, because we needed the building. Selectmen, everybody for getting that going. It's all good. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you.
Yeah. It is. The motion carries with 64 votes yes, 26 votes no. Okay, Article 11, to see if the town will vote to transfer the sum of $1,827 from the fire department weekend salary account. I guess I might as well read the number, 001.220.5131.000. I say dot as opposed to period because I was in the phone company for 30 years. To the fire department vehicle repair account, I'm not going to bother, or take any action relative thereto. Is there a motion?
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to transfer the sum of $1,827.00 for the fire department weekend salary account to the fire department vehicle repair account.
Is there a second?
Just kicking you.
Who was the second back there? Oh, that, yeah, Sue. You said there was, you did second?
I did.
Yeah, okay. It's been moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said on this article? Anything at all? All those in favor signify by raising your hands. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do I have a motion to dissolve this meeting? Okay, Chet got the motion. Is there a second? Okay. Mr. Slagle? Yep. All right, all those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you very much for coming out on a Friday night. It is 7:48.